So I am logged into Google Classroom and I want to add an assignment. I'm going to click on the plus in the lower right hand corner to add the assignment, and then I point at the create assignment icon, click on that, and it's going to bring up a page that's similar to the announcements page. It's telling me that it is for my Period 2 English Section 1. I can change that if desired. I can add another class, my practice class. I could add to that, so I could send this assignment to multiple classes within Google Classroom. I also have the ability to send it to specific students or all of the students in the class. I am going to title the assignment. I'm going to have the students write something that they did on Valentine's Day, and I could include detailed instructions here, or I could point them to another document that would have those detailed instructions, which I'll talk about in a minute. This is where I can assign a due date. I can either leave it open-ended and not assign a due date, or I can click the down arrow. That will bring up a calendar, and I can say what date and even provide a specific time if I want to. And if I wanted to define a topic, I could add that information as well. Perhaps I want to define it as writing. That helps for search later on. And then I do have the ability, again, just as I do in adding announcements to Google Classroom, I can add something from my desktop or from my computer. I can go to my drive and I can search for documents, and I can add something that's specific for the students. In this case, I do have a Valentine's Day assignment set up, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I'm given several choices. I can have students view the file. That would mean that they could look at it. If it was an instruction page, that would be all they would need to do. But I also have the ability to make a copy for each student, as well as allowing students to edit the file. In most cases, this is something you're going to want to use with great care, because this does mean that all students can go in and start adjusting the file, which could be problematic. But making a copy for each student is something that is very desirable and may be very useful. What that's going to mean is it's going to create in their Google Drive a document that they own that's named appropriately with the student's name that they can then start to work on directly. So if you want to push out a template, push out some sort of a document that had the structure that you wanted, and you're asking them as a starting point to use that document to do their work, then you have that option to make a copy for each student. I can also add a YouTube either via URL or doing a search. In this case, I'm doing a search on dogs doing tricks, and I know that Nana the Border Collie does some amazing tricks, so I'm going to add her video to this particular assignment as well. But you do have the ability to add multiple items to your assignment within Google Classroom. Finally, I can add an external URL as well. So if I wanted to add a link to National Geographic, and now I have three different things associated with this assignment. What did I do on Valentine's Day? To assign it, I can either schedule it, so I could have it show up and be posted tomorrow or the next day. And again, I do have the ability to select the specific time. I could assign it right now and it would show up immediately in Students Stream, or I could save the draft and come back later on to work on it. I do have the ability to send it to the trash can if I want to discard this particular draft. I'm going to go ahead and assign this. Click the Assign button. It's going to think for a minute, and it will return me to my stream page, which will show basically what the same information that the students have. And as you can see, I now have an assignment that's posted in the stream. It tells me as the teacher how many have been completed. In this case, it's just been assigned, so of course no one has done it. But this will be the way for me to return later on to do the grading for this particular assignment. And it does show essentially what I just set up, which is the document itself. Each student will get a copy, the video that I attached, as well as a link to National Geographic. And that is how you add assignments to Google Classroom.